Hi College Success, welcome to your week 1 assignment video, part 1. I'm going to do 2 videos for week 1 assignments just so that it's not too overwhelming at one time and it doesn't get too lengthy. So the first thing I'm going to do is go into the lessons area because that is kind of your home base for most of the things that you'll need in this class. I do want to show you that because I am recording this in early mid-May, under the announcements, which will eventually pop up right here, you can see I already have some announcements scheduled for when the semester starts. And inside of this announcement, I have links to all the videos. I'll show you where they are embedded inside Brightspace as well. But here are the links. So this is the welcome video that I sent out via email, but it's also embedded inside the lessons area. This is your Chapter 1 lecture video, which goes over the content of Chapter 1, which is the basis of your assignments for this week. And then as soon as I'm done recording these two, I will go ahead and post those links there. So the one I'm recording now is just on discussion forums. So you'll see announcements already scheduled the entire first week. All right, so in that lessons area, under the Start Here section, there's your welcome video for this semester. So I really do encourage you to check it out if you haven't already. That really helps walk through some features of our course, especially because Brightspace is new. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to lessons. And this is where all of the work is housed. So again, remember that textbook access link is there, the Muddy Point discussion forum if you had a question. Here are where their week 1 videos will be housed. So Chapter 1 lecture is already in there. And then these will be part 1 and part 2, the videos that I'm recording right now. So you'll get your discussion forum video and then the other assignment video right there. So I'm going to go ahead and hop into week 1. When you see, kind of it's like a double click, week 1 and then week 1, every week we'll have this overview of like, hey, this is what you're doing. And so I put all of the assignments in red so they stick out. I know it looks like a lot, and I hope I got the message across in like the welcome video and in the welcome email that an 8-week course, especially during the summer, is very fast paced. We are going through a lot of material in a short amount of time because the content does not change. The only thing that changes is the time frame. So as a quick snapshot, we have an introduction discussion post, a Title IX quiz, a digital scavenger hunt, a Chapter 1 discussion, a Chapter 1 assignment, another Chapter 1 assignment, and a Chapter 1 quiz. For the purpose of this video, I am only going to talk about the discussion board right here and the discussion board right here, okay? And while I'm doing this,
Chapter 1 discussion.
Kind of a neat feature that Brightspace has. So I wanted to point that out as well, where in here you can highlight something, and if you are an ELL student, it can translate it for you. You can have it read to you, or there's a dictionary use. So another kind of neat feature for this new learning management system. All right, so your discussion boards, you have 2 this week, and you have 2 in many weeks. Whenever you have 2, you have to post your original response in both of them by Wednesday for week 1 attendance. So let's say you post in your discussion here, but you forget to do your one right here, you're only gonna get 50% attendance. So make sure you do both. And then you also have to respond to 2 classmates inside each forum by Sunday. So 4 responses total. So how do we get there? So I'm gonna go ahead and just click right into the week 1 assignments. Now the materials folder is just what it sounds like. It has materials, links to the chapter slides, the chapter text, PowerPoints. But for now, I don't necessarily need those. I'm just gonna get into the assignment folder. Here I'm going to see the discussion forum. It looks like the little chat boxes, and then this discussion forum. So they're both right here. So I'm going to click on this one first, Introduction Discussion Forum, and it's going to say, hey, go to the discussion board. So I'm going to click Go to Discussion, and here is my prompt. So in red, introduce yourself. Easy enough. My name is Linda, right? Share at least 3 things about yourself, and here are the 3 things you're going to share. A time when you were proud of an accomplishment, an interest or hobby, and at least 1 goal. So proud, interest or hobby, goal. Your post needs to be around 150 words or more. So the first week or so, I'm not going to take off points if you're like at 130, 140, because you're still getting into the groove of things. However, after the first week or 2, If I start seeing discussion boards that are sitting around like 120, 130, you'll lose points if it's not around 150 words. Now, if you're like 148, 149, I'm not going to nitpick. But the reason this is in place is because you will take classes here at Stark State and other institutions that say you need to have a minimum word or page count. And so this is just getting you in that mind frame. When you are done, remember you have to respond to this prompt by Wednesday. And then when you're done, between whenever you post and Sunday, you need to respond to 2 classmates. So how do you actually post? So you're going to click on the name. It should be hyperlinked right there. You're going to click it. And it's going to repopulate the prompt. So you have it right there so you don't have to go back and forth or anything. And you're just going to click Start New Thread. You're going to put your subject. So I don't know if you want to put like intro forum, week 1 forum, and your name, whatever you want to do. And then I'll spell things right. Here's where you're going to type your response, and you can see it's keeping track for you down here. You are also welcome to type in like Word or anything like that, because that also keeps track for you for a word count, and then copy and paste in here. But I think it's nice and convenient that you have a word count right there. Whenever you're done, whenever you have adequately answered this prompt in around 150 words, you'll just simply hit, scroll down, hit post. That's going to post your response, and you're going to see, as soon as you post yours, you'll see what everyone else has posted. Now, I did like a really quick practice one because this is how it will look when it shows up. Like here's mine, I just named it week 1. And then this is the practice. So when you go to respond to classmates, so let's say you've read and you're like, oh, I have something to say about this. Go ahead and click on the name of their forum. And then you will simply hit reply to thread. You'll put your response right here. There is no word count for a response, although it does need to be meaningful. So it's not just like good job or I agree. Ask a question, compare, contrast, do something that adds a little bit more meaning to your response, and then just hit post when you're ready. All right, so that is your discussion forum for week 1, the first one. So I'm going to head back here because I still have this open. It opens always into a new tab, which is kind of nice as well. Whenever you're done with that one, I would recommend, if you can, in the same sitting, to go ahead and get your chapter 1 discussion done as well. That way you're just knocking them both out at once. I know sometimes you might not have time for it, but make a note to yourself if you need to go back. So same thing, it's going to open into a new window. Here it is. What will completing a degree do for you in light of your dream job? What will earning a degree mean to you and your family? So again, post around 150 words, original response, same process, click on the name, start a new thread, and then go back and respond to 2 classmates. So just think about that, what is your dream job and how is this degree going to help you get there? And what does it mean to you and your family? All right, so those are the 2 discussion forums for this week. Please make sure you post in both of those by Wednesday for week 1 attendance and respond to 2 classmates in each forum by Sunday. Now, if you missed the Wednesday deadline for attendance, please don't just skip it because you still get points for completing the discussion. You get attendance points, but then you get like, hey, did you actually answer the prompt? So let's say Friday afternoon, you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot to respond in my prompt. You can go back and post, and you'll still get at least partial credit for attendance, and you can still get full credit for the forum itself. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and then be sure to check back for my part 2 video, which will go over the next couple assignments that are not discussion forums. All right, see you next time.